must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Fellow Africans, I took this petition to the court in order to stop any future usage of falsehood and false documents, procured witnesses of the Waki Commission. I took this petition to the court 4 years ago in order to make sure that the Chief Prosecutor of International Criminal Court does not use this evidence anytime in the future, whether tomorrow or 10 years to come, to refer to this evidence because the evidence was fake. It is with this dismay and with this courage that I took to go to court in Kenya to seek a judicial review and to redeem the credibility of both those accused and the victims of this catastrophe that occurred in Kenya, that I decided to seek to expunge this report from the reports and the statute books of Kenya. It is unfortunate that the three judges in Kenya, whom I will name now, Judge Kanyi Kimondo, Judge Aburil, and Judge Onyengo, all of them sat down and gave very silly, flimsy, prudish, sardonic ruling against our petition. I want to tell the Kenyans that I have done my best. I want to be on record that should this thing reappear again, don't call me. Should it reappear again, don't say I never told you. Should the Chief Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court use this fake evidence again against Kenyans, don't say I did not tell you. My role was to go and remove these obnoxious toxins from the books of the Republic of Kenya. I therefore want to tell the world that my torrid road, a long road that I've taken in search for this envelope, has ended in Kenya so far. But I want to announce that Kenya is not the only state party in international law. Kenya is not the only state party. I will in the future, very soon, detail to you which other state party I'm going to seek this envelope to be expunged and to be made public to the people of the world. I want to thank you all. I want to tell you that a detailed document which is entitled My Long Road, Torrid Road to Work Envelope will be found on www.panafricanforumltd.com. You can read it, you can dissect, you can see the days, the long road, what I took, what I did, referenced, well documented, and may God help you that at one time somebody in Kenya will stand up to say thank you very much.
Very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is Good Morning Africa. My name is Miriam Ogoto, and it is a pleasure to have you today, the 9th of February 2021. And if you were to look at the headlines this morning, then I'll tell you that we have so much to talk about today, as a lot happened yesterday. The meeting that happened between our Deputy President and his allies there at his official residence in Karen. And we've seen rebel members of Parliament expelled from Jubilee who were nominated. And we've seen a court come out yesterday and stop the process of BBI. So we have so much to talk about this morning. So before I bring in my panelists, I'd like to bring us up to date with COVID-19, and then we'll just jump right into it. And I'll start with Kenya, where now the cases stands at 101,944 cases, and the death toll in the country stands at 1,786. And recovery so far is at 84,473. Uganda, the case is 39,860. The death toll in Uganda is 327. Recoveries is 14,414. Then I'll just go straight to the total cases in Africa this morning. We have topped 3,002,900, and the number of deaths in the continent is 99,225. Yesterday we were at 99,100, so we have added 125 more cases of the people who have died in the last 24 hours, and recoveries in Africa so far is at 2,565,743, which is not too bad considering the cases that we have. And of course, the global statistics have surpassed 107 million cases. And so I'll just leave that there so that we get into the topics we have for you today as we look at the headlines this morning. And I'm joined by Jevan Karanja from Nanyuki. Jevan, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Miriam, and good morning to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. And good morning to my friend Douglas Kiremi. Thanks for having me on the show. As you have said, there is a lot to discuss. The headlines are hot, and it's a good debate. Thank you.
All right, very well. I'm looking forward to it. We're also joined by Douglas Kiremi, all the way from Meru County there. Alikuwa huko Sagana, and he's not given us a full report what happened there in Sagana. Douglas Kiremi is also an editor and an inspiring politician, as well as a political analyst. Douglas, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, and also to our crew in our headquarters in Nairobi, also to my friend Jevan Karanja and our friends across the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and also good evening. Miriam, today is a great day, like Jevan has said. We also remember that the Deputy President William Ruto had a meeting that he has said it was a big meeting, but it was filled with progress.
Into that. Yes, we are getting into that. Good morning to you, and thank you so much. I know we have I'm also excited, Douglas, the same way you are, because we have yesterday when I was watching the news, I said, oh, we have a full show this morning. We have so much to look at. So let's just start with that. And even as we look at the topics, we shall just refer to the headlines this morning, because the topics we have here on the headlines. And so a court attempts to derail the BBI. So let's just start with that. And the court derails BBI. That is on the front pages of the Daily Nation this morning. And it says, punctured. A 5-judge bench has stopped the IEBC from holding a referendum until 7 petitions challenging the process of amending the constitution are determined. The order, however, does not affect county assemblies and parliament, but the decision to pass the bill could be declared invalid. Jevan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, thank you, Miriam. One thing that we have seen they're saying that the suspension of a referendum. You know, we are not heading a referendum referendum next month. The referendum was stipulated to be held around June, and I'm very clear that before June, those cases will have been determined. Number two, the court order has not stopped the ongoing process that is in our county assembly. Therefore, even if we finish with the county assembly and we get the 24 number that is required, the bill will proceed to the National Assembly. And from there, it will go for the education or the campaign stage, where Kenyans will have to be educated on the contents of this BBI. I don't see much effects on the process of the BBI, because I know the court determination will come in time, and the referendum will happen as it's stipulated around June this year. Therefore, there's nothing much. But what I would like to point out is the court should not be used to intimidate the process. I feel like if it's a fair process, then it's good. But let those who have concern be looked at, because we don't want anybody in future to say that they were closed out and they had an issue with the BBI. Let them go to courts, let them petition. But at the end of the day, Kenyans will determine. This is a process that even the courts, I don't feel like they can stop, because this is a process that intends to bring sanity into our political, into our economy, into the fight against corruption. Therefore, I feel nothing much, the court order will not affect the BBI process as much, but we wish those cases to be terminated in a very speedy manner, so that we continue with the process without any interference from our courts. Thank you.
Okay, very well. The story, as I said, there is on page 5 of the Daily Nation, and I'll just read a bit of that, Douglas, before you come in. Now, the High Court has punctured the Building Bridges initiative by stopping the Electoral Commission from subjecting the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill to referendum until petitions against the proposed changes are determined. 5 judges yesterday barred the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission from taking any action to advance the proposed changes of the Constitution. Now, IEBC has 3 crucial roles in the process to amend the Constitution through a popular initiative to verify signatures submitted by its promoters, submit the draft bill to county assemblies, and once Parliament considers the bill, act on notification by the President to hold a referendum within 90 days. Douglas, is this because we know BBI, the process, according to the committee there, the spearhead this process, we've been told that the proposed month for the referendum to be held should be in June. So by the court halting this process until those 7 cases that are in court are determined, will this not perhaps derail this process, or what kind of impact will it have?
Thank you, Miriam. And we need to also see the scenario that is our Kenyan courts and also our judiciary. Judiciary today, if someone gets an injunction today that they should not speak on any media station, the court are going to listen to them and also grant their temporary orders pending my appeal, and also giving me an opportunity to defend myself in court. So the court is clear, and the court is on the right track to have stopped the IBC from conducting a referendum, and also as they are hearing the prayers of the people that went to court. So it is within the rights of the court and also within their jurisdiction to do that. But at the end of the day, we should remind the people of Kenya that BBI is here, and BBI is not going to be delayed by anything. We have seen numerous things, including the stopping President Uhuru Kenyatta from vying, every manner of things. If you want to go to court, everyone is ready to go to court. And when these orders are given, these are temporary orders, and they are not permanent, and it is not something that we can be able to bank on and say that the BBI process is going to be delayed. So one thing I believe in is that the BBI process is coming. Those that are afraid and running to court and using surrogates like Day and that we alliance and all that, all people that have gone to court, it is within your rights to go to court, and it is also within our rights to change the constitution as the court is within their mandate to have stopped the ABC from doing that. But one thing I think Kenyans need to accept is that the BBI is here, the process is here, and there is nothing that is going to stop BBI from coming, and also for us as a people from changing the constitution of the Republic of Kenya. So those people that went to court, they are within their rights, they can do that. But at the end of the day, as a people, we need to be assured that the BBI is going to come and we are going to change our constitution, because this is our only window in the 10-year that we in the 10-year period that we have had, so that we can be able to look our constitution, because we have said before that this constitution is not living to the expectations and aspirations of the people of Kenya. One thing we need to do is that we need to change this constitution, and there is nothing that stops us in future after 10 years or 20 years or 30 years to change this constitution again, so that our constitution is a living document. It has to live to the aspirations and the needs and preferences of the people it serves. So I believe that the BBI is not going to be delayed. The same courts are going to grant on us, and we are going to continue with our process, and also for the millions of Kenyans that believe in changing the constitution, so that they can have this constitutional moment, and so that we can move our country forward, Miriam. And I believe those are people that went to court, they had their reasons, the court will listen to them, the court will also listen to the proponents of the BBI process, so that we can be able to move our country forward. And others can also go to court to continue stopping BBI, but BBI is not going to stop. We are going to change this constitution, because it is in the hope of millions of Kenyans that we as a people, so that we can move forward. I submit, Miriam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Douglas, for that. Now, according to the judges, the petitioners have asked the court to determine the constitutionality of the BBI process and whether the process is within the letter and the spirit of the Constitution. And so this is what the judges said, and I'll quote them. We decline to interfere with the legislative process, but the court can interfere at the tail end. Even when considering the bill, be aware the court can declare it unconstitutional upon hearing the petitions. The judges said, according to the law, the High Court can nullify the outcome of a referendum if it is proven it was conducted in violation of the Constitution. And we're joined right now by Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, and my fellow panelists, as well as our viewers from wherever they are in the world.
Aye, Professor, BBI, I mean, reggae make a post hapo by the court.
Miriam, wonders never cease. And so long as we are alive, we will continue watching so many interesting things, Miriam. Miriam, I've walked this journey of trying to bring peace in this country. One of the things, Miriam, I want to tell people, and I want to tell you, and I want everybody else, Miriam, I love this country. I'm very patriotic. I mean well for this country. And even when things don't add up, Miriam, I find a way that how can I leave this country better than I found it. The only thing we can give to the future generation, Miriam, is a secure country with a functioning constitution, Miriam. Miriam, sometimes people castigate President Moi and call him all manner of things, but Miriam, what President Moi did, he handed over this country which was intact with a constitution. Miriam, we have 2010 Kenya Constitution, Miriam. It has taken us for 10 years. We have seen which areas it is working and not working. And Miriam, now we have only just begun, Miriam, with the First Amendment. Why can someone have difficulties in having an amendment? Then why can't we go?
All right, very well, Professor. We seem to be having just a little bit of a problem with your. We seem to be having a bit of a problem with your audio there. So once it's been able to be fixed, you can continue with your point there. I think it has been fixed. It was on our side. So go ahead. We apologize for that.
So I'm trying to say that, Miriam, we are the Constitution, Miriam. Yeah. And when you see Article 255, Miriam, it talks on how you amend the Constitution of Kenya, Miriam. Then why were the architect of this Constitution putting the amendment, Miriam? And we have said that, Miriam, PPR has been very consultative, Miriam. You have not given your views. We don't know what you are thinking about. You have not given your signatures, Miriam, and you go to stop the process, the constitutional process of Kenyans who want to take their country forward. Miriam, God forbid. But what you know, Miriam, we have subjected our country into good governance and the rule of law. And we have got our judiciary, Miriam. Even if you just wake up one morning, even if you don't have a case, Miriam, you will go to court. The court will listen to you. Imagine, Miriam, there have been 7 petitions. What the 5 pen judges did, they consolidated those cases. And they said, now, let us hear them, Miriam. Perhaps they have got a case. Perhaps there's something they are seeing we are not seeing. They will present their case. We will have our side to report to it, and Miriam will get the orders. But let me tell you, Miriam, when the court says they have stopped, you have always said that the reverse is true. You know, Miriam, the reverse is true. Why am I saying the reverse is true? They have said the counter assemblies, they continue debating the bill. They have said the National Assembly continues to process the bill. So, Miriam, it is as good they dismiss the case, but if they could have done so, Kenyans would just go to the streets and say there are no justice in this case. So, reg has not been posted. The process is in place. Within this week, we are going to have more than 5 counties trying to pass the bills, Miriam. But it's very unfortunate, but it's a constitutional right, Miriam, because we are a democracy. So we can't stop you from going to court, Miriam.
All right.
We cannot.
Thank you so much, Professor. And we know one of the petitions has been filed by the Turkana County Assembly and Third Way Alliance Party. And we've seen the opposition for the people who are not in support of the BBI process, and they've tried all manner of things to stop this process or to stall this process. But President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga and the other people who have been supporting this process have continued, thugging out the journey there. And now we are where we are today. And so, having failed in using other means to stop this process, do you think somebody somewhere is sitting, considering maybe perhaps somebody is using the courts to derail this process as other means?
Miriam, let me just make this point.
Yes.
I am not a lawyer, but I've got a clear mind of the law. I'm telling you, nobody can stop reggae. The people of Kenya have to decide, not even the courts. The people of Kenya are supreme. That's why we have a referendum, Miriam. If the people of Kenya find that the process was not fair, they will reject it. So nobody can stop apart from God himself. Nobody. It is just a matter of time. This BBI will be through by June.
Very well, Professor Jevon. Is there a possibility perhaps having other means have failed to stop this process, or maybe the court is the last resort here, and the court maybe is being used to derail this process?
Yeah, maybe, Miriam, somebody is trying to use the courts to derail the process of the BBI. But at the end of the day, he will not achieve the ultimate goal of stopping the reg, as Professor said, because this is a process that is subjected to Kenyans. Therefore, the courts cannot come and try to say that Kenyans cannot make their own decision. So let not submit them to a referendum, so because they make wrong decisions. That is not the case. A country of almost 50 million people and 19 million registered voters as per 2017 voters register. These are people who can make their own decision even without being persuaded by anybody. Therefore, this process, I feel it will continue to the last process, and that is the referendum. And from there, we can decide, Kenyans will decide whether to have a process. I know there are people who are against this BBI, and they were against it from the first day. They said this is a BBI that will take Baba to Ikulu. But now, because things have come out that this process is a good process, you have seen since that President Kenyatta came to Sagana, when you come here in Mount Kenya region, the tones are changing. People are starting to have consultative meeting. When you go out there in the vibandas, you see them saying that it is time that we look at this document and we see what is benefits that we are getting. Therefore, this is a process that at the end of the day, it will not, in fact, it is getting momentum every day. Therefore, anybody who had a plan to stop the BBI, they could have done it earlier. But for now, this journey is unstoppable. This journey will stop at the referendum. And if you feel like that you have the numbers, your constituents can stop the reggae, why not subject them to a no campaign? Let them oppose. Let them go to the ballot, vote no, and the IBC will decide who have carried the day. And Miriam, we have said this, whether BBI goes through or it doesn't go through, the people of Kenya will remain in this country. The people who have lost or those who have won, they remain to coexist as Kenyans. Therefore, this is a process that we have not fought over a referendum, and we will not do with the BBI. Therefore, let Kenyans decide. That is my opinion.
All right, very well. So the court found the grievances raised by the petitioners against the BBI, such as lack of referendum law to guide county assemblies and possibility of the county assemblies deploying different positions on public participation, are not frivolous. Now, in arguing the court to issue the temporary order to suspend the process, Third Way Alliance and Turkana County Assembly had argued that the proponents of the constitutional amendments are using public funds which are not recoverable. But the judges said there was no evidence that the activities of Parliament and county assemblies in considering the BBI bill will entail use of public resources outside their routine legislative duties there. And we know this case has been on the courts for quite a while now, since sometimes back last year. The timing of this ruling right now, Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. And also these people who are saying that county assemblies, the National Assembly, or maybe Senate are going to use public resources in passing these bills. What do we pay them for every month? We pay them to debate these bills. If I have a private bill that I want to sponsor through my MP, it will be taken through Parliament and I will not pay a dime. These are people who are taking these frivolous and also very unfounded petitions in court, and also taking prayers in court. These prayers that they are taking to courts that the BBI be suspended are very unfounded. And also, when I sponsor my private petition through my MP or raise a statement in Parliament through my MP, I pay nothing. So these people are telling us things that we know as the people of Kenya, even the courts themselves, even the injunction that has been put against BBI, it is going to be removed, because at the end of the day, these kind of prayers in a court of law shows that are people that are devoid of ideas, and also are people that are devoid of a proper kind of thinking. But even they and company cannot tell us that the county assemblies are going to use public resources when they are doing their routine work, when they are doing what they are paid to do. County Assembly of Muranga, Meru, and every other county assembly in this country, they are being paid to do these debates in Parliament, including private citizens, petitions and prayers in county assemblies and National Assembly are free. So what is wrong with the supporters of BBI like myself when our bill is taken to Parliament? Who said that public resources are going to be used there? So the timing of this, also this ruling, and also these orders that are coming from the courts are very suspicious. They need to be relooked. So I also urge the BBI Secretariat and also the task force to go to court to challenge this one, because this is something that should have been dealt with a long time ago, and we need to come out very clearly on that. It is not something that we can be able to celebrate 3 months to a referendum. These people want to delay this process, but we should know that as a people, these people have tried every manner of things, including campaigning against BBI for the last 2 years. Now they have gone back to courts, but the courts are also very clear that this process is a people-driven process. BBI is a people-driven process, and the people shall be able to change their constitution as they deem fit. So this country cannot be held at ransom by a few greedy, selfish people who don't want anything good for the people. For example, the people of Mount Kenya and other places, especially in Mount Kenya, are receiving 53 billion from BBI. Why don't they want that being entrenched in the constitution? Other regions are receiving a different amount of monies that will be pumped into their devolution. Why do these people want to keep derailing our country by? They don't want our country to grow so that they can keep suppressing the poor people and stifling the voices of development and also progress for the people of Kenya. This one should be stopped, even and numbed at the bud in courts, because at the end of the day, there are a group of people in this country who will never find anything good in this country. They have been opposing the 2005 referendum bill, 2010 constitution, they opposed. Even now, this BBI process, they are opposing because they are opposed to progress and a better tomorrow for Kenyans, so that they can continue stealing public resources and also stifling the voices of development and also going forward as a country and as a people. Miriam, I submit.
Very well, thank you. there. So in opposition to the application, the Attorney General and IEBC had told the court that interim order would interfere with the statutory timeline of 3 months in which county assemblies are supposed to have approved or disapproved the bill. Court cannot stop the statutory clock, which started ticking when the bill was submitted to the county assemblies. The statutory timelines are binding to the court, they argued. And so I think that's when the court said it cannot stop whatever it is that is happening in the county assemblies and in Parliament. But the end result, if it's voted for without these cases being heard, then the court might as well nullify the whole process. Professor, even as we move to our next topic. All right, very well. So let's just get into our next topic, and that is Jubilee Expels rebels there, and we saw what happened yesterday. And the story is on the front pages of the Star newspaper. Uhuru strikes Ruto, men in fresh purge. Kenyatta calls Senate Parliamentary Group meeting that may demote Irungu Kangata, and that will be, I think they're having the parliamentary meeting today. But let me just look at, I think, the Daily Nation. The story is on page 6. I'll get to the Star one so that we see these members of these politicians that were expelled yesterday from the party. All right, so the story is on page 6 of the Daily Nation. The purge against allies of Deputy President William Ruto in Jubilee continued yesterday after the party expelled 6 nominated senators over disciplinary violations, with indications that Senate Chief Whip Irungu Kangata could be on the chopping block today. Jubilee senators are holding a parliamentary meeting at the KICC in Nairobi today, when the conduct of the Murang'a senator will be discussed. Now, the 6 nominated senators were kicked out following deliberations by Jubilee's National Management Committee on reports that the party's disciplinary committee submitted. The 6 include Isaac Mwaura, Millicent Omanga, Meryl Seneta, and Falhada Dekau, Naomi Wako, and Victor Pregay. This was long time coming. I'm not really surprised by this. Professor, are you?
Yes, Miriam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Miriam, I was listening to Brother Francis Atwoli at the funeral service of was it the burial of Mama Anna, Mama Anna, the mother of Musalia Mudavadi.
Mm-hmm.
He said, which party is this which doesn't have discipline, Miriam? And which party is this which does not even have on how to discipline and expel people, Miriam?
Mm-hmm.
He could not understand, and even myself, I could wonder. We nominate you, Miriam, to go and support the party, activities of the party, and Miriam, you go and stop and you start doing other things, Miriam, what will happen? This is the decision which has been long overdue, Miriam. And you have heard myself pronounce myself here before, Miriam. I want things to be done proactive. We should not be reactive. We should not wait until someone has done this. It's when we act. Miriam, that one is tantamount to poor governance and failure to observe rules and regulations and the constitutions of various parties. That's what we want to understand. Mm-hmm. Look at this, my sister now. This Millicent Omanga, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Have you been hearing how he talks, Miriam, as if he's an elected senator? Did you see the other day, going at the burial ceremony of the deputy governor's father in Kisii? Did you see what he was doing? Miriam, that one, even sometimes we say that ladies, you should observe yourself. See, read the mass of this country down, Miriam. Mm-hmm. And if this is what we struggle to achieve 2/3 rule, then Miriam, so be it, let us not even have it. Be it as it may, the point I'm hammering, mm-hmm, that we must have discipline in the party. Mm-hmm. See how Mwaura talks, Miriam. Honestly. Who will tolerate? I'm happy they have followed the internal mechanism, mm-hmm, of the party. They have been expelled, but the management committee has given them an option. If they feel the outcome is not favorable to them, they can appeal. And even if now they go to any court of law, you cannot succeed. Look, like given the rights of Aisha Juma, you were elected on Orange Democratic Party. You start going around standing on a wheelbarrow, Miriam. Decency and Miriam, and the hygiene of our politics should be this, that if you disagree with your party, resign, go and seek mandate in the new party, or you stand independent. That's what good governance is. Miriam, that was the decision which was long overdue. It could have not been even done by yesterday. It could have been done the other day. I submit.
All right. So Ms. Omanga said she had not received communication to that effect, but promised a fight back through the political parties dispute tribunal. Does she understand what the political parties laws that govern the political parties in this country says about you being in one party and not propagating or seeming to be advocating or, another party outside of that party that took you to Parliament or Senate? I'm not sure if she understands that part. But Douglas, this was a long time coming.
Thank you, Miriam. And also, as a country, we need to understand that these parties and their constitution should be something that these people are put through before they even support that party. When you support Jubilee Party, you need to be taken through an orientation process of about 1 month, not even 2 weeks. They need to acquaint themselves with every act of their political party and also their party constitution. Because the day the registrar of political parties says that the day you cease from participating in your political party and the day you cease from propagating ideas and programs of your party, you cease from becoming a member of that party. The law is very clear. We need to be able to understand that for us to be able to move forward, the rule of law must take precedence. And as a people, we need to understand that life is not dependent on what we say as a politician or as a people. Life is also guided by some laws. In these particular political parties, if you disagree with President Uhuru Kenyatta, the leader of Jubilee Party, you need to leave that party, you need to leave Jubilee Party so that you can go to a party that you believe in, so that you can continue with your other agenda that is not in Jubilee Party. These parties are very clear. You need to propagate ideas that belong to Jubilee Party. For example, those MPs that are opposing programs supported by their party leader, by their party, Jubilee Party of Kenya, you need to resign. It is your democratic right to be able to move to another party, but also leave the other party alone that sponsored you to Parliament, that nominated you to Parliament. Have you not democratically chosen to propagate ideas of Huda Party for the members that have been expelled from Jubilee Party? Have you not democratically chosen to disobey the president of Jubilee Party? His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya. Even President Uhuru Kenyatta, if he does not believe in the Jubilee Party, he needs to leave the party that sponsored him to State House. But since the president is the party leader and is propagating the ideas of their party and promoting the ideals of their party, he is in their party. So these people who are moving around saying they are not going anywhere, you shall go to the party. You shall go to the party that belongs to William Ruto, including William Ruto is breaking the law. The law is very clear. The rule of law has to apply on every stance and every sign. The rule of law should not apply to Millicent Omanga and does not apply to William Ruto. Because William Ruto is openly supporting and funding activities of another party that is not Jubilee Party. He is opposing what the party is doing. The party that sponsored him to Harambee Annex and also the current official residence where he has an office. It is through Jubilee Party that he is besmirching every day and the president that is causing people and meeting people, delegates. Who has he consulted in the party for him to keep holding these meetings, parliamentary group meetings in Karen when the president of the Republic of Kenya has not called one?
All right.
They are breaking the law, and the rule of law has to apply on everyone by the same scale and by the same standard.
if Mwaura is expelled from Jubilee Party, the National Management Committee of Jubilee Party should respect the will of Jubilee members and also recommend to the National Elections Committee that they need to expel William Ruto from Jubilee Party and also other people that support UNDA Party.
Okay.
For example, this thing is wrong overdue. They should have gone 2 years ago. Actually, they are right. The Jubilee Party is right, and we forgive them for that, but they should expel every nexus of UNDA Party in Jubilee Party.
Okay.
Because one, it is true that these people are propagating ideas beyond the party, the Jubilee Party. Jubilee Party does not support any other party called UNDA. William Ruto has broken the law, and these people have broken the law. They need to be expelled and sent out of the party. I submit, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. So what you're saying is they violated the party's act. And now from this story, there's an indication that Senate Chief Whip Irungu Kenyatta could be on the chopping block today. I mean, Javan, because the position of the Chief Whip, you're supposed to be there to advance the party's position. So if you don't even agree with some of the top things that the top party organs and the position of the chairman and the party has taken, you cannot advance that in Parliament. So, I mean, there's no need for you to be there. So,
thank you so much.
Chopping off, removing, Irungu Kenyatta, I think will be the right thing to do, don't you think?
Yeah, that is my wish and the same piece of thought.
That, when you are there and you are the chief whip, you need to propagate or to propel the agenda of the party. Now the big agenda of Jubilee Party now, as we speak, is a BBI. And this BBI is supposed to come even to that level of Senate. And he is the person who is supposed to whip members. But he is the person who is coming out here to tell the president how unpopular the BBI is, how unbeneficial the BBI is to the people of Mount Kenya and to the people of Kenya at large. Therefore, he is not the right person to be in the Senate doing that job. Therefore, he needs to be given to somebody who shares the same thought, who reads from the same script with the Jubilee Party. And that person maybe is a person who needs to come and replace Irungu Kenyatta. Initially, Irungu Kenyatta replaced Senator Nakuru, Susan Kihika, because we thought Irungu Kenyatta was in line with the Jubilee and manifesto. But it came out that the same dark forces that were controlling him initially to be in Tangatanga has come back to the Yasan, and they're returning back with their son to where they came from, and he is now in Tangatanga to stay, and Tangatanga he came, and in Tangatanga he goes back. Therefore, there's nothing much. And on the issue of I think it's a process that could have happened quite earlier, but because the members of Senate were in a recess, I think now it is the time to act. And the Jubilee Party, I feel now they have started waking up, because they have given a lot of freedom to these members to a point where they go and intimidate the member of the head of state, especially these nominated senators, the likes of Isaac Mwaura and Millicent Omanga. To some point, you thought they were the party leaders. The way they behaved, you couldn't even imagine they were nominated in Jubilee ticket. The way they used to go and ridicule the government of Jubilee, you could think they were the people who sponsored President Uhuru Kenyatta to be the president. But it is the vice versa. Therefore, these people need to go and continue propelling, continue advocating for the agendas of the UDA party, because that is where they belong, that is where their heart is. Because loyalty in the party is something that is non-negotiable, it's paramount. Therefore, they need to go in UDA party, because that is where their loyalty is. Maybe from UDA, they can get some nomination slots, because maybe UDA party is a party that takes misbehaviors, it's a party that takes people who are not disciplined. Maybe it's a party that takes all the people who are corrupt and the people who don't respect their party leaders. I think they should go there. And we have seen them even wearing those capes and some t-shirts, the yellow things that they advocate for the UDA party and the wheelbarrow agenda, especially when we see them we saw them in Mombasa with the wheelbarrow. In Musambweni, we saw Isaac Mwaura. We have seen Millicent Omanga. Even yesterday, she was present in the current meeting. And therefore, this is a person who is not in line with the Jubilee agenda. And on the issue of this Jubilee Party tolerating misbehaviors. That is why they are, to a point, Miriam, when you give room to people to meet the freedom, it reaches a point where it is hard to tame them or to bring them back in order. That is why we see even the deputy president today, it is hard to tame him because he was given that freedom to expand his wings. That is why you see him today. He can call for a parliamentary group meeting of a party that is not even registered with the registrar of political parties, and he confines members there, and they discuss issues that are contrary to the government of the day, that are contrary to the agenda of the Jubilee Party. Therefore, this is something that must stop, and the Jubilee Party leadership must act swiftly and ensure that the rule of law and loyalty to the party and advocating the party agenda is something that is paramount and non-negotiable. Thank you.
Very well. So as I read there earlier, nominated senator or former nominated Senator Millicent Omanga, because the expulsions were with immediate effect yesterday. So right now they are former nominated senators. She has said that she will she will fight back through the political parties dispute tribunal. Professor, what kind of fight back are we likely to see from Millicent Omanga, and how will she be pleading for her case there?
Miriam, you know, sometimes I want to be an actor of politics because I'm an admirer. Sometimes it lets me down. Miriam, here is the party which has nominated you to go and promote its programs, its manifesto, its agenda, it's the constitution to serve the people of Kenya and to serve the party, Miriam. Then you go and start doing other things, Miriam. The president convenes a senator meeting for the party. You don't attend. You don't give an explanation, Miriam. Unless, Miriam, I don't want to be very insensitive to the people who are blind, because being blind is not inability, Miriam. But we are seeing, Miriam, what's happening, Miriam. Yesterday she was in current, the resident of the deputy president, Miriam. The other day, Miriam, I'm saying she was causing chaos in a funeral. Miriam, which party, which institution will allow that? And you have been given an opportunity, Miriam. You come before the disciplinary committee and state your case. You have gone there together with your lawyer. They have listened to you, and then they have found you guilty for violating the Jubilee Constitution and Constitution, Miriam. And even when they have expelled it, they have said, if you are dissatisfied, you can still appeal the machinery of the party. So she will go to the political parties, and she will be referred back to the party. Because what any tribunal can do, what any court can do, will say, were you given were the rules of natural justice provided, Miriam? How is he going to tell the political parties tribunal that she has not been in discipline, has he been supporting the party? But since, Miriam, this is a process, and if you want to jump the gun, let us go. But I can tell you on this, their goose is cooked. And as you have rightly said, she will let her be the former. Let her wait until UDA goes for election next year. And if it happens to get a slot, she can be nominated. But I don't think that the people of Kenya can even erect this kind of characters, because they have shown the respect, they are unaggressive, and history will charge them, Miriam, I submit.
All right, very well. So before we leave that story and look at our last topic of the day, I'm looking at the same story on the Standard newspaper, page 6, where Ruto opens new political war front with Uhuru in Parliament. First of all, the headline there gives a timeline of what happened yesterday, how it unfolded. On Monday, 3:30 p.m., Deputy President William Ruto emerges from a meeting with 139 members of Parliament allied to him, where they resolved to take common approach in House business. And Monday, 6 p.m., the same day yesterday, Jubilee Secretary General reveals that the National Management Committee has directed that 6 nominated senators allied to DPB expelled. So he's six people down there, because now they are no longer, they no longer matter in certain decision making there that requires their numbers there in Senate. And then on Monday, 6 p.m., the same time, President Kenyatta calls for a Jubilee Senate PG meeting. This morning, sources believe the agenda is to remove Irungu Kangata as Majority Whip. And then today, Parliament resumes sittings at 3 p.m. And it will be interesting to see how supremacy wars between the Jubilee Party factions play out. And as I was watching the news yesterday, I don't know if any of you watched, or maybe I don't know if I'm right in what I was watching, when side of the Jubilee Ruto's side, they came out when they were issuing that press conference after the meeting they had at the DP's official residence, when they were saying that the referendum, they are still calling for a multiple choice referendum. I think I had that. So I got confused. Are you supporting the BBI or not? Because you have to pick a position and stick with it. We've seen President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, despite of who is supporting or not, they believe whatever they're proposing is good, and so they're stuck with it. They've stuck with it, and and they're committed to seeing it to the end of it, regardless of how Kenyans will decide whether they vote for it or not. But they've stuck with the process. But DP, his side, I heard them call for, I think, a multiple referendum, and that got me a bit confused, because it's a bit confusing even for just a normal Kenyan. Are you in support of the BBI process or not? If not, leave it alone. If yes, if not, start leading the no campaign. And as we saw there earlier over the weekend, I think the DP has assumed the official opposition of the BBI from his sentiments that when he was in at the coast there. So now I think we do have a leader of the no campaign in the name of Deputy President, because of what how I saw him speak over the weekend. But this idea of just blowing hot and cold, I think it's quite confusing. And for a leader, you cannot do that. You have to take a position. Even the Bible says, DP, that Bible that you love so much, that a double-minded man is unstable. So we do not want that instability, please. As a leader, you must be able to take a position, support it, and stick to it, and to the end. So you can't keep doing this. You're confusing your supporters, Deputy President, and I don't think that will work for your own good there. So now let's just look at...
Miriam, on that, I'm slowly turning to be a supporter of William Ruto.
Tell me about it.
He's a honest man.
Mm-hmm.
He calls himself a hustler. A hustler is a dishonest person. He's a fraudster. He's conning people. Miriam, that is who he is. expecting to get the control from him. That is what he is, and that's what fraudsters do. That's what dishonest people do. Mm-hmm. That's what conmanship people do.
Mm-hmm.
So what we only need to do is to educate Kenyans and see the kind of person you are following. Because a person who takes no stand, you don't know what he stands for. And let me tell you, by the way,
mm-hmm.
honestly,
mm-hmm.
William Ruto is supporting the BBI. I'm telling you, because Jesus one day sent his disciples out to go and heal people. And when the disciples were bringing the report, they came and told Jesus, what did they tell you? What did you find out? He said, oh, we found some people healing this one. And Jesus said, were they against us? He said, no. Mm-hmm. Then Jesus said, if they are not against us, then they are for us. So honestly, if William Ruto cannot come forward and lead the no campaign, then Miriam is for us.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Go on, Miriam. Thank you.
It's very unstable. A double-minded person is unstable. DP, look that, it's in the Bible. He loves the Bible so much, so I'm sure that will not take him long to find out there. All right. So from what we know, what transpired from the meeting that the DP had yesterday, the MPs who were allied to Deputy President William Ruto plan to push the amendment of the crops bill to boost the farming of coconut, cashew nuts, and bixa, as well as make laws to support Mira farming. These are some of the things they're supposed to be doing. Those members of parliament, you represent these people. That is why you're in parliament. So if you're waiting, I don't know to do this when, you are a disservice to the people who elected you. These things, they should be doing that. These members of parliament. You represent the people of Kenya who trusted you with this position. So these issues you're bringing up, that is why you're in parliament. You're supposed to be bringing these bills in parliament and these discussions in parliament so that policies can be put in place to ensure things like this are addressed. And I don't know. Now, the leaders agreed to mobilize supporters and officials in Jubilee Party to resign in mass and register with UDA ahead of the party elections in April. Now, the party, through Tanga allied MPs and other elected leaders, has said they will open offices in the constituencies before March with the target of registering 8 million people. So you've seen that they do have a plan, and they're saying, you know what, we are going to resign, all of us, and then we'll see how that will happen. As we conclude, even as we look at President Uhuru Kenyatta, a meeting that is happening today there, what are we expecting to come from that meeting and this new strategy by UDA? How do you see it working for them? I'll start with you, Javen.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the priority to start this topic. One, let me say this, it's hypocritical when elected leaders come in national televisions pretending that now they have waked up to go and legislations that will benefit the people of Kenya. What were they doing? 4 years, some are serving their second term, some are serving their first term. Therefore, they have been in this parliament for the last 4 years. What have been they doing to support the cashew nut farmers, to support the Mira farmers? What were they waiting? Why now? That is a question we need to ask them. Now, this is a pretense that we are talking about. This is a hypocritical and people hiding in the name of supporting hustlers, but in the real sense, they are not supporting any hustler. They are just there. And I think now they are talking of wheelbarrows. Now they are talking of legislating on behalf of farmers. Who will register it? This kind of discrimination, Miriam, maybe Kenya is not seeing. These people are championing for the interest of the people they are calling hustlers. Who will champion for the people who are middle class? Who will champion for the interest of those people? Therefore, they want to tell us, if they happen to form government, anybody who qualifies to be in middle class, anybody who earns a salary, anybody who lives a good life will not be a beneficiary of that government. This kind of hypocrisy, this kind of dumbo studies, this is what we are calling out in the camp of the Deputy President William Ruto. And if these people mean well, let them go and registrate because they have waken up. But they need to be held accountable for the last 3 years that they didn't registrate to benefit these people. Number two, do they have some of these registration? They need to be supported by other members of parliament. Will they convince other members of parliament to support their bills? Because you have seen these members who support the Tanga outfit, most of them, they don't contribute to debates in the parliament. Some of them, they don't utter awards. When you look at the likes of Oscar Sudi and the women rep for Kirinyaga, Wangoi Ngirishi, these are people who don't contribute anything in the floor of the National Assembly. Therefore, it is interesting to see them how they will champion that. But I think this is just the good language that they use to entertain these people they call hustlers. There's nothing much we can expect. Now they are saying that the 50% of the monthly contribution that used to go to the Jubilee Party to be directed to a welfare group under the UDA party. These people, if they have confidence in their party, if they have confidence in Deputy President William Ruto, why are they worried? Let them resign and seek new mandate from the people of Kenya using the UDA party. If that is the way to go, then I support them. Let them go and resign and continue with this. But I feel these people, most of them, if they are asked to resign today, they will not do it, because these people, they know very well that this party is a party that, how it stands now, is a party that to penetrate it in the ODM strongholds, in the Jubilee strongholds, it will take time, and maybe they need to concentrate on their 2022 presidential election. Therefore, that is hypocritical, and those are not the leaders that we need to lead this nation. People who cannot stand to their people, they only come when they need votes. Okay. Number two, today we are expecting a parliamentary group meeting of Jubilee Party. One, we expect that Jubilee will discipline the Chief Whip Irungu Kenyatta, because he has not been standing with the party, he has not been propelling the party agenda, and that is the BBI agenda. Number two, we also expect the nominated members of parliament in the National Assembly, the likes of Cecily Barire from Embu. I think it is high time that these people are also disciplined. I expect maybe something of that will happen, but also maybe something they will talk about. You know, there is this speech, the conversation around the impeachment of the deputy president. Maybe something, maybe they will go and maybe as a party, maybe they can negotiate about it, or they can have a word or two around it. Therefore, it's a lot of things. Number two, they will also maybe measure on how the Jubilee Party will support the referendum bill when it comes to the floor of House. Therefore, to me, that are the expectation that I feel will come out of the Jubilee Party meeting, and I feel looking forward to a very good session in the Parliament as it opens its session from today or going on forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And today, coming to work early in the morning, I was listening to one of the radio stations, and they were saying it feels as though Kenya right now, we do have two centers of power, judging from that meeting Deputy President had yesterday. And President Kenyatta also is having another meeting with the other fraction of Jubilee Party. So it's like we have two centers of power, and a lot of Kenyans who are bewildered. I mean, it's a wonder. It has never been seen anywhere in the world. So Douglas, just before you come here, something I need for you to comment on, even as you give your final comments on this topic. Now, sources in the meeting that happened yesterday, that began at 8 a.m. and ended shortly before 4 p.m. said the MPs unanimously agreed that they will be voting as UDA in both houses and prioritize pro-poor legislation and policies which will support the agenda. I don't know how many members of parliament are in parliament through UDA. Is it just, how many? Is it one? I'm not sure. I can be corrected there. And we are now taking the Hustler Nation dream to both houses by passing and even coming up with bills that will help poor people. We do not have to wait until August next year when we are elected to government before acting. We have begun now, said an MP who sought anonymity. And I'm just wondering where all these members of parliament come from. Do they have middle class, rich people, other Kenyans who have just worked hard to be where they are today? Because they seems to be very particular about the people who are what they call the poor people. So they're discriminating. I don't know. Are these poor people just found in a particular place, or these constituencies that they represent in parliament? Do they not consider other people that they are also representing? I don't know. I don't know why I just find this to be nonsensical. I'm not sure. Douglas, go ahead.
Thank you, Miriam, and thank you for using the correct wording, nonsensical. Because in economics, if you concentrate on a microeconomy and neglect the macroeconomy, that economy is not going to grow. Again, my MP, Moses Gosine Kirima of Imenti Central in Meru County, I'm asking you and I'm daring you today, resign from your position of MP and now come with UNDA party in April so that we can have a by-election by June. These years, we are passing BBI so that we can send you home and teach you a good lesson. We cannot wait for next year also. As a people, as a voter, belonging to your constituency, such that you have been able now, the Reverend Moses Kirima, you have been able to subscribe to UNDA party shenanigans and also their slogans and everything. My MP, I'm asking you today, and every other MP that is in Tanga today, please resign. Don't waste time. Don't even talk about people who are being punched from the list of nominated people in parliament. Please resign from your positions. At one time, the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga had to disagree with their party, and he had to resign, and he had to seek a fresh mandate in Kenyatta. And the Right Honorable Raila Odinga bounced back bigger, better, and powerful. I am daring these MPs today to resign and come out clearly and choose democratically to leave Jubilee Party of President Uhuru Kenyatta and follow of William Ruto. And also, William Ruto, I'm daring you today, as a deputy president, resign from the party, from your position as a deputy president, instead of creating this fake scenario of their rule of power, 2 centers of power in Karen. Please, Deputy President William Ruto and your surrogates and also your people, resign from government today and face the knife in the next ballots that cannot come less than in June or July, so that we can be able to deal with this once and for all. These people, there is no one of them who has the raw power in the name of ballot boxes and also ballot papers in 2021. Even in 2022, President Uhuru Kenyatta said, you shall know where the real vote comes from. Please resign from Jubilee Party and continue engendering the agenda of Unda Party. At the end of the day, we have a Jubilee Party parliamentary group meeting at KICC today, and we expect anyone that does not toe the line. The President of the Republic of Kenya should not spare anyone. If you're not supporting Jubilee Party, please go. At this point, the president would rather be left alone than people that continue sabotaging, insulting his mother. Who insults anyone's mother? I have said on this television that William Ruto cannot take an insult on his wife, Rachel, but he takes those insults to the door of President Uhuru Kenyatta and also the door of people that he disagrees with. William Ruto is an hypocrite who carries a Bible and does not believe in respect, in decency, and honor of other people. William Ruto wants to be respected even when he comes to opposition in 2022, but he does not respect other leaders. Please, people in Unda Party, it is the high time that you shift behind your hypocrisy and came out to face the ballot paper and also face the ballot boxes and also face your voters. Tell them what issues you have been championing in Parliament. Is it these 3 years that you have now been able to come out clearly and also understood that the poor people in Meru, in Imenti Central deserve better? Our microeconomy as poor people needs to be looked at in National Assembly. People in Gatundu South, the poor people masses in Gatundu South, is it the first time, Moses Kuria, you have seen that now they deserve better? Instead of waiting for 2022, now you need to champion their issues after 3 years in power. For some, after 8 and 9 years in Parliament, this hypocrisy should come to an end today. Please resign today from Parliament, resign from Parliament, Senate, and Deputy President, resign from Arambe Annex, so that we cannot even waste time on impeaching you, so that you can go and face the electorates and the people of Kenya, so that the people can be able to teach you a good lesson. At the end of the day, these people that are talking about and ensuring that the issues of the poor people in this country are looked at are hypocrites and leaders who are full of greed and selfish people, including William Ruto. Is it the first time that William Ruto has known that this country has poor people because he wants to run for president? Is it the first time in this country, Professor Jerendo Nyari, that these MPs from all over the country have known that the poor people in this country deserve better before the UNDA government is elected in 2022? Please take that nonsense to someone else, not me. I tire talking about UNDA. I tire talking about the hypocrisy and also the chameleon kind of politics that are permitted and also exhibited by Deputy President William Ruto. Resign from government today, resign from your positions today, and face the ballot and also face electorate so that we can see where the real power is. The power belongs to the people of Kenya, and they know very well that we are all hypocrites who are self-seeking, greedy people, corrupt people. Rigathi Gachagua, I want you to resign today so that you can face the people of Madera, and also resign from government so that you can face issues that are facing you, corruption charges all over. Governor of Turkana, Governor Nanoku, has received over 165 billion Kenya shillings. Please resign from government today so that we can know the wheat from the chaff. Thank you. I submit. All
right, very well. Thank you so much. Now, the MPs raised concern, the MPs that met with Deputy President William Ruto yesterday. They raised concern over government action against some leaders and political chaos. This evil scheme, which began with the targeted withdrawal of security of members of parliament, has now been extended to total withdrawal of official security coverage by police officers at meetings attended by the Deputy President. read the statement by members of parliament. They added, this is not only malicious discrimination, but it is also reckless dereliction of duty by the National Police Service and a grave threat to our national security. Kilifi North Member of Parliament Owen Baya said there was no security during the DP's tour of the coast. Was DP's tour at the coast, did he go there for government official duties? We are pushing this democracy a little too far, Professor, now.
Miriam, I've listened keenly as you are listening. I say, Miriam,
Like
why
what?
did God decide us to give us dishonest readers?
Surely.
Miriam, let me tell you, you know, we do not have enough police force. The security is not enough, Miriam. And the few we have, Miriam, we have to share them equitably. That you can utilize them, the deputy president can utilize them. So, Miriam, the deputy president, he wakes up in the night, he says that I have to be in Mombasa today. I have to be in the coast today, Miriam. In his own mind, no arrangement, no nothing else. And then, Miriam, you turn around and then you want to blame the National Police Force? Honestly, Miriam, you turn around and say now the National Police Service is not providing security when you have woken in the middle of the night.
Professor, was he on an official government duty?
He was not. He was not. He was not. Miriam, how can be someone on a wheelbarrow, being driven in a wheelbarrow, be on official duty, Miriam? Miriam, these people should spare us, Miriam. We have listened all to their lies, Miriam. If you want to have a meeting, Miriam, inform the Ministry for Interior, inform the National Police Service, Miriam, and you will be provided with security. Let him. I could have wished and said that we notified the police that we will be there, and then we were not provided with. So on that one, they are speaking rights, Miriam, and we are not going to entertain that. And that's why we are saying I entirely agree with the statement of Douglas Creamy and Jevan. If you are so much dissatisfied with this government, Miriam, why don't you simply get out, become the official opposition, and you will be provided with security because the Constitution says so. But we are not going to give you the security whereby you are going to misuse it the way you want it. No, it can't work like that. You just wake up from here, you go to coast, even the county commissioner is not informed that you are going there. When you go there, you find he has got other duties or he's out of the station, and then you turn around, they don't attend your meetings. That is sort of nonsense, Miriam.
All right. So, Professor, what are you expecting from the meeting President Uhuru Kenyatta is having there with the leadership of Jubilee Party, the other side of Jubilee Party?
Miriam, every other time when Parliament breaks and when it convenes, a serious political parliamentary party, you convene your parliamentary meeting of your members of the party who are elected in the party. And then you come out with the agendas on what you want to do. If you find the leadership which has been pushing the government, the party agenda is doing excellent, you say, good. If you find they are not doing it, then Miriam, what do we do? Like I expect Kenyatta Irungu to be removed because he no longer supports the government agenda. I was raising the case here, Miriam. Irungu Kenyatta is not me and you and anybody else. He has got access to the president. He can pick the phone and call the president and say, Your Excellency, I want to come and see you for over consultation over this and this. Then he goes and tells Miriam, I was on the ground, I have carried some research and I found that the PPI is not popular. What we do, he helps advise the president. Here is a man, Miriam, you write a personal letter to the president, and then you just put in all the social media. That's enough, Miriam, to be removed. That's indiscipline. You are not, Miriam, let me tell you, I'm here at the show with you. I don't tell you what I'm thinking about. And then the next minute, you hear me saying something else. What are you going to take off of it? You will find me that I'm not a honest person. I'm not a trustworthy person. I'm unreliable. So what I expect that from the parliamentary meeting of Jubilee is that they are going to put their house in order, because there are so many things that Miriam which needs to be done. After the counter assembly in the next 1 month, Miriam, they will be having this, the period will be in the parliament. Miriam, even the money, the peace bodies who are trying to say that they're using the government money, Miriam, there is no money out of the budget which belongs to the people of Kenya, which will be used without the consent of the members of parliament, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Even the money for BBI, Miriam, it will be subjected before the house so that we get money from the consolidated, from supplementary budget, Miriam, and they will be able to participate. So those people going to court to pedalize that we are going to use the government money without the consent, that's not true. So Miriam, I'm expecting Jubilee to go and put their house in order so that we can be able to go through this session they are starting.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Jared Onyari. Thank you, Jevan Karanja from Nanyuki, and thank you so much, Douglas Kirimi from Meru. And we shall be back here 11 a.m. where today we shall be looking at those renewed sanctions against some members there in Zimbabwe, and how sanctions perhaps affect or has affected some countries across Africa. And that sure will be a diplomatic leaks, and I'm sure Dr. shall be leading that session at 11 a.m. So the lesson of the day today is a double-minded person is unstable in all his ways. That is what the Bible says. DP, look it up, you'll find it there. Thank you so much for watching. I am Miriam Ogutu. Good morning.